Hi, guys, and welcome back to Milena's Diary. I am your host, your mamacita, Milena Sanchez. And can I just say before I get into today's episode that the Valentine's Day special with Milan went down a treat. Like, you guys have been so supportive, and I think she might be back next week. I think I'm getting there with the convincing because, yeah, like, why wouldn't she want to be on this every single week? So, yeah, thank you so much for the love and the support constantly. Because, like I said, you guys don't understand what a little rating on Spotify or Apple or a little retweet or a little comment here and there, how much it helps me, because this week I have been down in the dumps. I'm also very sick. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm really excited to get into this week's episode because I have been waiting for this one. I've got a personal friend of mine. I got Mrs. Carter's #1 fan
You
up in
already
this.
know.
Myles Hart in the building.
What a lovely introduction. Cheers, babe.
Babe.
¿Cómo estás?
Oh my God, super bien. ¿Y tú?
Perfecto, yo estoy bien, gracias.
Can I just say, yeah, Myles and I, when we get together, it's such a shambles because it's both of us that are just like...
Yeah, it's a lot.
Can I just say as well, we're both sick, so we are...
Yeah, I feel like that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be too much for the first time that we're together on the podcast to give 100. It might be like over what the cameras might bust up, the microphones.
Yeah,
the
your
whole
eardrums.
Yeah. So we're both on our little T's.
On our little T's, we're on our best behaviour because there's been
Somewhat.
times that we have been on our worst behaviours together.
And we love it, babes.
Absolutely love it. I will never forget, yeah, when I was in your house and I was crying over my man. Do you remember this? And
Oh
I
my
was
God, on the
crying,
bed, yeah.
Because this man hated me and he would not answer my calls. So then I started texting and then I deleted everything. Myles was like, why the fuck did you delete everything?
Exactly.
He said, I will leave that there so that motherfucker can see everything. And
Yeah.
I was like, no, I just don't want him to hate me. I don't want him to break up with me.
Fuck that hoe.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, no, mad.
My boyfriend absolutely hated me.
We've all been there though, babes, you know what I mean?
We have.
We've all been there once, at least once.
Yeah, we've had...
Some of us stay there, unfortunately.
Oh, God. I mean, I stayed there for a while. You know, I was
Yeah, but
with
you got
him
out.
for about, 2 years. Almost 2 years. For somebody that literally constantly made me feel like I wasn't good enough. At that point, it was my fault, though. At that point, it was my fault. Because at that point, I liked it. I wanted it.
Yeah, all the taste of your lips, I'm alright. Dun, 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 dun. You're toxic. Yeah.
Babes.
Yeah, we've all been on our own little mental health journeys. You speak a lot online about, learning about what makes you tick and what you craved.
Yeah.
Like the little you, what it craved to
Yeah.
feel validated, and that's what you were getting in a crazy way from that guy. But
I think it's so
you've grown
difficult,
from that.
though. Yeah, but to actually go ahead and go into therapy, be honest with yourself, be vulnerable, and actually take the steps to move on from a situation that you know is not right for you, that's fucking difficult. And to
Yeah.
also take accountability, because like I said, no one had a gun to my head.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
But someone probably had a very big dick to your head. And you was like,
I mean, let me just
Yeah.
let me just sip on this. I'm a fiance.
I know you are, but every fiance got a past.
It's true, to be fair.
Exactly. And we embrace people's past. I don't like those people that, I love you, but don't talk about this from your past. Don't talk about the but no, babes. Take me as I am, yeah?
Yeah, I think Milena is very, very secure in that. Like, she doesn't get insecure at the fact that I've had dick before and now I'm with her.
Has she had dick before, ever?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
exactly, it would be wayward for her to get
Yeah.
mad at you if she had dick in the past.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to think about that, though. That got me a bit hot.
Are you sure that's not the sickness?
No, because that just pissed me the fuck off.
Because I'm sweating on this camera.
That
The
just
cameraman
pissed
even
me
said,
off. She's
Is
like,
it?
what?
The dick.
Don't you dare chat about her like
But
that.
you've had the dick too.
No, I know. No. She's fine. I was talking about this actually last week on the podcast where I was like, there is still a little bit of insecurity when it comes to me and her.
What do you mean?
Bisexuality.
Well,
Because sometimes I feel like, oh my God, what if she does leave me for a man? But I'm very vulnerable and open on this podcast, yeah. And I will say it how it is. I don't ever come on here and pretend to be anything but myself, right?
Yeah.
If people want to hold that against me, I don't give a fuck. It's my
Suck
life.
your daddy from the back.
I'm doing what I'm doing, and
Yeah.
it's my journey, and I'm working through what it is that I'm working through. But I was saying that there is a slight little, okay. So if he wasn't with me, you would probably be with a guy.
Yeah, that's a you thing, babes.
100%.
Because it's not she would, is she could be with a guy, or she could be with another girl. She could be with a black girl, with a white girl, with a Mexican, little Puerto Rican. She could be with an African,
I'm
honey.
the
Like,
Latina that she can be with, okay, people? All right?
as a bisexual man myself, like I hear that, like it's annoying that it comes with that territory. Like a lot of, especially women,
Yeah.
will be like, oh, you're gonna end up with a guy,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, like I could do, but I'm with you at the minute. You're what
Yeah.
I like, because you're straight. You could leave me for another man. Like, anyone could always leave someone for another something.
Yeah.
Pussy, dick,
Whatever.
titties at the top, dick at the bottom. They can leave you for whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah. It's
If you're
true.
concentrating on that,
Yeah.
then speak to somebody. You know what I mean? But don't
Call
speak to
someone.
them.
Call the Samaritan.
Yeah.
Have a conversation with
Because
somebody.
it's long.
No, but I do understand that that is a me thing. That is an insecurity from me, and something that I need to work on. And it's not that I sit there and I pressure her like, "Oh, are you gonna leave me tomorrow for a man?" No,
I
it's
don't
just a
doubt that,
conversation that we've had, and I have to be honest with her about what's coming up for me. Do you know what I mean? And I'm very, very aware that like my past plays a huge part in me feeling like I'm not enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for the most part, me and her, like, we're solid. Even about our past, we can talk about it, and she's not like, "Oh, how dare you chat about that?"
Yeah.
No, we're very much so. We're together. Like, we're on another level. Like, we're engaged. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you do have to get to a point where it's like all of those little things, it doesn't matter.
100%.
Like, you need to push forward with what it is that you've got going on and build a solid foundation for a marriage.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course, some things will still affect you. Like you said, like
100%.
you don't want to hear how her pussy got torn up. Like you don't want to hear. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't want to hear it. But
Myles, we're 5 minutes in.
5. Oh, we should have started this 3 minutes ago. Then shit. Hot from the top, honey. But yeah, my boyfriend. When we first got together, the night we actually met, I was getting with a girl at some club. It was an after party. No one that I knew, just a girl at the club. And then saw him, got with him. And then he was like, "Yeah, I love the fact that you're bi, like this." Then I thought, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Fast forward, like we're in a relationship now. We think we've been together maybe a year. I can't remember. And we were at a friend's barbecue.
Yeah.
And I ended up dancing with a girl. I said to my partner, "Oh yeah, she's really pretty, and she's really pretty." Anyway, music comes on, bash, whatever. We're having a little dance. Vex.
But what was she
fuming.
whining on you?
Yeah.
Nah, sorry, that can't happen. Sorry, no. There's no way. There's no way that
Okay,
my
you see-
girl and me, we're gonna be in a barbecue, and then I'm
You
turning
can have
to
a
the
little
left
one.
and turning to the right, and then she's breaking her back, whining
So
with
can I
another
whine
man.
on you?
Nah.
I can't whine on you no more.
You. Oh yeah.
Oh, so what's the difference?
We're friends though.
And did I not say my friend? Isn't she pretty?
Oh, okay. Then if it's your friend, that's all
Yeah.
right.
I mean, we don't ever like hang out like that. Like we're just cool. We're just friends. Like we ain't besties, but like it wasn't. It
so
was never that.
Would he be mad if I was whining on you? But we're friends.
But this is how people
But would you
say.
be mad if somebody was whining on him?
It depends. It depends who. If it was one of his friends, I've seen his friends. We've been out in the club. Like, I think it was at Bootylicious. Shout out to one of the best queer black parties in London, Vauxhall, you don't know. We was there, and I saw him winding up with his other friends, guys, and he's not bi, so the only thing he likes is dick and ass, okay? So I could have, if I was that way, felt a kind of way.
Yeah.
But babes, we're at a party, we're dancing, I trust you, you trust me, these are your friends.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing that vibe.
And I wouldn't do it in front of you.
Huh?
I wouldn't do it in front of you.
What do you mean?
Like,
You wouldn't do what?
if I was going to be on a madness, I'm not going to be doing it in front of you.
Fairs.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that would be silly of me. That would be so incriminating.
Yeah. But you're not trying to do no madness anyway.
No. I'm talking about hypothetically.
Oh, hypothetically speaking, right. I don't know, babes.
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
My woman is top tier. I
didn't mind him doing that, like, at all. So when he was like, oh, but, like, remember, I forget that you're bi. It comes with a lot of...
It's a lot.
Yeah. If you're not binary, anything, like, is a madness. I remember when I first got into the gay scene.
Yeah.
And I was on Grindr, the dating sex app. It's a sex app. Even though I would use it to, like, actually get connections because I just always wanted to be loved. You know this. I just wanted to be loved. And people was out there just looking for dick or ass. And I'm there like, oh, can we have coffee? Like, da, da, da.
Can we have a conversation?
Anyway, innit? Anyway, I would be on there and they'd always ask, you know, what is your position? Because obviously if you're gay, you either taking dick or receiving it. Recently I heard you can be a side.
What's that?
Listen to Get the Belt podcast, you'll find out on there. You know.
I've never heard that.
But basically, a side is someone that
I've
doesn't
heard top,
do
bottom,
anything.
and verses.
Verse, yeah.
Oh, verse.
And that you can be a side.
Not verses.
So a side is they don't like the penetrations. They just like the oral transactions. They just like to slob on a knob, get their booty in and out.
Oh.
Maybe they'll swallow some kids.
I had never heard about that before.
Yeah. So I know. I found this out maybe about a year ago. I was gagged, honey. I started off straight.
Yeah.
Came from a black Christian household.
Yeah.
I was homophobic growing up. Like,
let everybody know, like, your background. Where are your parents from? Your family?
So my mum's Nigerian English.
Yeah.
And my dad's Spanish Indian with a bit of Portuguese in there. Mm-hmm. I remember one time I said to someone, oh, I don't say the Portuguese because it just makes it all sound too long. And I said this unknowingly to a Portuguese girl. And she was like, no, mention the Portuguese. I was like, okay, yeah. So hella mix up.
Yeah.
And then I've just got loads of Jamaicans in the family. So brought up around that culture as well. But my blood is Nigerian English, Spanish, Indian, Portuguese.
Okay, so you were raised in a religious household.
Yes.
Right? And then, so you're straight for the most part growing up. And then...
all my life, baby, until one sweet day.
One sweet day.
No, it was a really confusing day, actually. I'd had many girlfriends and had a girlfriend.
So even when you was like fucking pussy, you wasn't like, oh...
No, I was content.
You was happy.
Yeah, babe.
This felt good.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like you shouldn't be doing this.
No.
Okay.
It felt like that when I first had my dick sucked by a man.
Oh, really?
I was
Do you think that was like internalized homophobia?
Of course.
Yeah, 100%.
I called my cousin. I was like, God, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's cool. Like, chill.
Okay, I want to hear the whole story.
Oh, shit.
So you was dating women.
Yeah. And then had a girlfriend for like 7 years. We'd
Yeah.
spoken about kids, marriage a lot. Like, I remember I was
At that
on
point,
tour.
you wasn't like, oh, I do have those feelings for men as well.
No, I'm a Scorpio and I'm so loyal and I'm so obsessed. I become obsessed,
I know you are, actually.
fixated on things for good reason or for bad.
Yeah.
And so she was my world. She was my everything. So I didn't even have...
Do you still chat to her?
No, but I did find out the other day that she had a baby by a personal trainer that used to go to the gym that we was at, and I would not link up with, but like if I see him out, I'd be like spurred, like you good, like we chat. And when I find that out, babe, I was pressed for like a day or two.
That's mad.
And I'm happy, content. This is years ago. I'm in a relationship. I'm getting my dick sucked by a man at this point, like so it shouldn't bother me, but I was pressed for like 2 days.
Yeah, that would press me as well.
Yeah. But
not because you care like that, not because you want to be with that person, but there's a little part of you that's just like,
because the majority of my life, I thought this is the woman that I'm going to have my kids with.
Yeah.
But
so you was with her for 7 years.
Yeah.
And during that relationship, did you ever have a conversation with her that you thought that, oh, maybe I'm bi?
Towards the end.
Towards the end.
Like the last like few months, I'd gone through... Oh, this is probably going to further narratives that I don't like, but I was like depressed.
Yeah.
I just come off of tour where I was like seeing the world, America, Europe, like it was lit. I was getting paid good money to sing and do whatever.
Yeah.
Came back, money ran dry,
Yeah.
didn't have a job coming in, couldn't afford basic shit, and I was just like, I was mad down. I didn't know who I was. And so I was in the clubs every night. I was going to the box until like 6 a.m. 3-4 times a week.
The box.
Staying out.
Can we just talk about the box? I've been there many mates. Have we been there together?
I don't think we have, you know.
No, we haven't. That's crazy.
That's mad, yeah.
Together. But I have never seen the madness that I have seen in that club.
Yeah. I love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a time.
Yeah. It's not for everyone, which I get.
I think the music could be a little bit better. Place is mad though.
Yeah.
If you've
very
been to
mad.
the box, then you already know what we're talking about.
So
you was in clubs doing all
in
of
clubs,
that.
whatever. And it got to the point where like I would come home and she'd be getting ready to go out. Like
Yeah.
it'd be morning, I'd be getting into bed, she's on her way to work.
It'd be like
or would
passing
already
ships at night.
Literally. Sometimes I wouldn't even stay there and I'd stay at friends because I'd been out, and it just got to the point where like we weren't intimate that much, and it was, we weren't really speaking or having conversations, and I didn't feel the need to. I didn't feel any pull towards her.
Yeah.
And then on one night out, there was this guy there, I don't want to say his name, but he was a performer, and then he tried to come on to me, and I was just like, nah, I'm straight, I got a girlfriend, whatever. And I've been used to this, like, I get it, like, I'm a dancer. Yeah. I wasn't as in touch with my, like, feminine side back then, but it was always there.
Yeah.
So people would either be surprised or at least try and get it out of me. And it just was never that.
Yeah.
And he tried to get with me. I was, at this point, the club is done. I'm so drunk, my head is in a toilet where I'm being sick. He's rubbing my back like, oh, but you're
rubbing
not
your
sick.
back.
Whilst I'm being sick, though, like, oh, you're not sick. You're just trying to keep that sexy body and throw it up. And I was like, no, this man is actually a psychopath. And he kept on. Anyway, I've kept it moving. Like, no, gone home. I go to the box again the next week. He's there again. And then the club finishes, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go home now to my friends. He follows me, and he's like, oh, let's just sit down and have a little talk. And for some reason, I was like, okay. And we just ended up speaking about our lives.
Did he suck your dick?
No.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Oh, no. Oh,
this was, I was still like, I was even surprised I was sat down with this nigga that was trying to get with me. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm there like, okay, I've got a girlfriend at home. I don't know why I'm speaking to you, but I am enjoying this.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Yeah. And he was respectful that time. And, you know, I said, have a nice evening. I went home and that was it. I go back into bed and I'm like, what the fuck? There was no physical touch. It was just a
Do you think that was that day that something sparked in you where it was like, oh, this was another level of intimacy, because it wasn't like physical, but emotionally, there is something now that has been triggered in me and I like it and I'm understanding this.
I was definitely curious, because otherwise I would have just been like, no, bro, like, I'm good, I'm going home.
Yeah.
And then I spoke to my girlfriend, I said, yeah, we need to end this. Yeah. It was heartbreaking to do. Like, it really was.
It's a long time to be
and this is long story short, but I ended up breaking up. Yeah. Moving out. Tried to get my life together, got me a little job, started auditioning again. Was still out in these streets though. Ended up talking to him. We weren't together, but I'd message him like almost every other day. Yeah. It got to the point where then I would stay at his often. Yeah. The only thing, it took us about 2 weeks until I could kiss properly. Yeah. And then maybe about 3-4 weeks after that, I let him suck my dick. And then we went on holiday to Ibiza. He had a dance gig out there. And we tried to fuck for the first time, but he couldn't. And I didn't know shit about gay sex. I didn't know you would have to like wash out the ass. And
I was about to ask that.
No, babe, it was so long. I'm thinking, okay, I just get hard. Oh, sorry, I'm hitting the mic. I'm getting excited. So I'm thinking it's just gonna be that I get hard. Yep, you jump on it, little spit, back, gat. It's not that. They got, as soon as you're like ready to do the thing, it's okay. I gotta go and I gotta like wash. So I'm sat in the bed, my dick like this. 15 minutes later. He's
15 minutes?
15 minutes, girl.
Oh, he wanted to make that shit clean
my
and
dick,
squeaky.
now, like here. He comes back, he got it up fairly quickly, but I'm trying to put it in. Oh, give me a second, goes out again, comes back in. Let's try again.
I couldn't do that. Not with my IBS.
My IBS.
You
can, you just got to swill it out.
I would just, oh God.
You just spill it out. You just got to dush that ass, honey. You're not into it? Because that's where you used to. Are you sure you want me on this podcast, honey? Because I ain't a regular guest.
You better sip that fucking herbal tea.
need
I'm
some more shit.
happy that that's not fucking tequila. I'm
Yeah.
happy that's not tequila.
It's that honey lemon. Honey.
No, we
Okay, right.
don't do nothing. I have done anal play before and all of that. I am not a stranger to
Sorry
it.
to this man, honey.
I'm not a stranger to it.
Yeah.
But nah, not with us. I just don't feel like
You don't
no,
want
we're
it.
not into it. Not into it too much.
Fairs.
So when was the first time that you had a big hard dick in your ass?
Well, the first time it wasn't that big. We thank God, I think.
Oh yeah, so then that must be really good then. If it's not that big, then it makes things a bit easier.
I had this one Australian,
Okay.
and I don't normally play in the snow, but the way he was built, and the way he spit, I just said, okay, it's just one time.
Just try.
One time.
Bucket list.
But his dick was like this, babe, like tiny.
Yeah.
But that shit would hurt.
Oh.
Yeah. Cause I don't know why. I didn't understand the logic, but he was like a Duracell battery. It was.
Oh.
So at the beginning it would hurt a lot. I'd be like, oh, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm getting two niggas confused. Sorry. Right, this is the black guy, the black DL guy
Myles.
who I had to stop messing with. He had this tiny little dick, and he would hurt. The Australian one had a small one, but would go fast, and it felt great. So I got them confused.
Oh shit.
You know, I don't go back into that part of my life a lot, so it's very hazy. I've been a husband for 2 years now. Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
Sometimes we just gotta go back.
Yeah.
Just go back and have little conversations about it, and just leave it there. The past is the past.
But it all depends on what you do with it. That's why I've never really been a size queen, as they say.
Yeah.
But fuck sucking a small dick.
You don't like that?
Fuck, I don't really like sucking dick.
Oh.
But if it's a pretty dick and the shape is nice, then I'd like to suck it. There is something for everybody out there.
100%. That's why I don't kink shame, you know. Let people do what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because there are some people out here doing things that I would never,
Yeah, the shitting, the pissing, the spitting. And I'm quite vanilla. I don't even like the spit shit. I'll spit on your dick, spit on your hole, but I'm not spitting in your mouth. I'm vanilla. I had one man try and spit in my face when we were
You didn't like that?
in the thing. No.
Not in your
Game
face.
over.
But...
Kendrick Lamar, game over.
No, not your face, but like a mouth.
But people like that. But there was no verbal communication about what was going to transpire regarding body fluids. So it was just in the moment thing, and I just said, whoa.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, that's not what we do. But some people love that. Like, gag over that shit. Some people like to be tied up. Some people like to be choked. I like a caress of the neck. I like a light caress. I want to be able to breathe. I don't want to feel like I'm choking.
You don't like it tied up?
Mm-mm.
Not tied up, no.
I don't mind tying up someone else.
Not wrists to ankles, bent over.
No.
Blindfolded, gag in the mouth.
I love that for you, Milena, but
I ain't
not
saying
for me.
nothing about me.
Back in the day when people would be like, what are you into? I'd be like, sex.
Yeah, that's it.
So I just like passionate sex. I like oil. I like using, if I can get the whole body
like
shiny.
wax.
I've not done wax yet,
Oh
but
my God, wax is so much fun.
I love that. I remember I really used to enjoy putting condensed milk on pussy and eating that because that shit is so sticky. It will last.
Yeah, I would get thrush.
Well,
I would have beef.
But what happened if it was licked off completely? Or will it still?
Some of it will end up in my cervix.
Okay, well.
And my pH balance.
Well, then get some of them. Go sex shop and get the pussy-friendly, lickable things.
Talk to us about being a little West End babe. Well, not a little, big West End babe.
It's
Tell
so
everyone
fulfilling.
what you're in.
So currently, I'm in Moulin Rouge in the West End, and I'm first cover Santiago. Yeah, man, that's me. I've only been in the show like 4 or 5 months now.
How are you finding it though?
It's fun.
Yeah.
So I'm not the role all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm first cover, and I've kind of covered before. I was a swing when I was in the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
When you're a swing.
I loved the Book of Mormon.
Yeah, that was so fun.
That was amazing.
But yeah, when you're a swing, you cover multiple people.
Okay.
And it's never really leads. It's the ensemble cast. So
Yeah.
I still had lines and solos, but a cover is you're covering the lead role.
So when it comes to like costume changes and all of that, is it like the same costume you're wearing every single day, or is there multiple? Because I'm assuming you'll be on stage and you're sweating because it's difficult with like the
I've
lights
been
and moving
sweating
around.
the last 2 days with this
or-
sickness, bitch. Fuck me. No, we've got a couple costumes, but they'll dry clean it and do all the things
yeah, that
in
makes
between
sense.
shows or overnight. And obviously, we don't always perform in the day.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if we finish our show at 10, 15,
yeah, yeah.
we won't be in the theatre until the next day at 5:45.
Yeah.
So they've got the whole day to do what they need to do with it. And the
Have you
show-
ever been on stage and like forgotten your words?
Yes.
But you improv, innit?
Yeah, there's a video of me when I was in the musical Rent. I was playing Benny in that, and there was a line I had to sing, and it was like, where people piss on your stoop every night. And instead of that, I don't know what came over me. I just said, when people puss on your stoop every night. I don't know.
Love it.
I've had moments where I've spoken in tongues on stage because I've not known what to say, but my like muscle memory has known the syllables of the or the timing.
Yeah,
So I've
yeah.
been able to say something in some language,
But no,
but
whatever
what
that
it
you
was, who knows? And then someone will respond, but that doesn't happen too much. But when it does happen, it's funny.
How long before you actually go on stage do you have to learn the scripts?
So generally, you get 4 weeks rehearsals for
Okay.
for a West End show, and sometimes they will send you the script before you start rehearsals, so you can go in and not be like, what is this?
Yeah.
But for Moulin Rouge, because of the scale of the show and the amount to learn,
Yeah.
we actually had 6 weeks, which was I've never had 6 weeks. It's only ever been 4.
That's a lot of
So that was
rehearsal.
nice. At the time, I was actually doubling up, so I was asked to go back to the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
So in the day for 6 weeks, from 10 till 5:30, I would be in rehearsals for Moulin Rouge, learning my ensemble track as well as the role of Santiago,
Yeah.
and then in the evening go and be Doctor in Mormon. That was a
That's
good time.
crazy though.
Every
That is a
Friday when we got
lot.
paid, that was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot, but girl, I love what I do.
Yeah.
I love performing. I love to
Yeah.
sing, love to dance, all of that. And I love money, babes. So if I'm
hear
getting
that.
one full-time wage there and another full-time wage there,
I hear that.
I'll send you my details.
Yeah, but you
get
need you need a moment for yourself.
I was just in
Myles.
New York last week, baby. Don't worry, we're bae.
Oh, I saw.
Yeah.
I saw.
We had a good time.
When you go away, yeah, I feel like there is a lot of pressure to create the content. So it kind of does take away from enjoying
The experience,
moment.
yeah.
Because there are times that me and Milan will go to places and I'm like, oh shit, I need to get this video, or I need to get this
Yeah.
picture, I need to do this voiceover, I need to do that, I need to, do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's sometimes like, okay, cool, I hear that you want to get great content for social media, but also
Enjoyment.
enjoy your moment.
Yeah,
I'd be walking around with a tripod.
literally.
I'd be walking around with a tripod because I cannot ask people to create content for me or to take a video of me. Because
Oh, I
they
do
don't-
be asking them.
I don't like the way people be
We
doing.
was in Central Park eating our bagels and our coffee, and this one family walked past. I said, "Excuse me, can you quickly just take a little video?" They didn't do it right at first. I said, "Can you do it again?"
Ah!
Yeah. Why not?
And then
it's
this
like,
is
it's
why
my
I
world.
just travel with a tripod.
Do you know, I've not gone out with a tripod yet. We left the tripod in the suite, but
What were you
That
filming
was-
in the suite with a tripod?
content
What kind of content? Content
of the room.
OF
Because
content.
so I'm with a PR company now, Nice Things PR, and they sorted us out with like an upgrade and all the things there. So we just had to get content of the suite. It definitely gave me a new perspective for like influencers though, because it eats into the day and it becomes annoying. You got to think about the light and you got to think about this and that and this and that and
And just
yeah,
being
it's a lot.
consistent with the posting.
oh yeah,
That's
I
the
can't with
thing.
that.
Like, it is so hard to be like, okay, cool. Sometimes I do have a little content calendar, like a schedule. And
I should really
my
do
agent
that.
will be like, okay, these are all of your like pillars of everything that you should be talking about throughout the week. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, let me come up with a calendar. This is what I'm gonna do on Monday. This is what I'm gonna do Tuesday. This is what I'm gonna do Wednesday. And it gets to the days, and I'm like, oh my god.
It's a lot, innit?
Maybe I should just have one day where I block out, and that's the day I'm creating all
of it.
the content, and then I can just spread it out during the week.
Mm.
Because me trying to do something every single day, but in saying that, my social media has grown with being
Really?
consistent. Yeah, 100%. Like, I've definitely seen a difference. For
I
sure.
need to do that. Help me.
Do you
Be a
feel
mummy
like
and-
there's a lot of pressure?
babe?
Oh shit! I just had a question.
Yes. And the gag is, I put it all on myself.
Yeah.
But it's because I want to be successful. And I noticed that growing up, I only really got external validation.
Yeah.
And I guess, like, in my psyche, I learned to feel that in myself, for myself, when I was, like, the best at something or outstanding at something. So if I'm not the best at something or outstanding at something anymore, I feel like I'm not...
Doing enough.
Yeah. And I don't want to be a bum.
You don't want to be mediocre.
I don't want to be mediocre. I don't want to be a bum. I don't want to be average. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be, like, not
God
known.
forbid.
Like, never. So, like, I always feel the need to be like, I need to be doing something. I need to be innovative. I need to be doing this and doing that. And the pressure from that is exhausting to the point where, like, I don't have a lot of time. At one point, now this is real vulnerable. I've not said this anywhere, and I hope my boyfriend doesn't mind me saying this, but, like, at one point, even though we knew I had a goal, when I signed the contract to go to Moulin Rouge, and I knew I was going to bring back the podcast, I'm personal training again, and I also work at End Clothing, like, 1 day a week. Whilst all this was happening, we knew I was doing this because I needed to pay for this, I wanted to save for that, and other things.
Yeah.
And, like, 2 months into it, we had a serious conversation. He was like, do you think you actually have the mental and physical time to do that and the relationship? And I was like, whoa, like, fuck. And I do.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we had that conversation. This is why I love my boyfriend, because he really is not just my, my lover. He's also, like, my best friend.
Yeah.
Because there used to be a time where if I wasn't getting sex from anyone, I wouldn't care to chill unless we were just friends. So, like, if there was no intimacy physically, I was not here for it. I'd be like, well, what the fuck is that? That's your brethren. That's your...
Yeah.
But, like, it's got to the point where me and him now, we can have an evening in. We don't need to even, like, touch each other, but just being around him, I'm so happy and content.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were having a conversation and that came up and it really made me deep. These pressures that I'm putting on myself to do X, Y, and Z are actually impacting the one thing I've sought after for, like, the last since I was single, since, like, 6-7 years.
Yeah.
And it also put that into perspective because these things, the podcast, the performing industry, being on stage, like, all of that eventually is gonna disappear to a certain extent. Like, in
there has to be a balance, doesn't there?
100%. And it's really hard to find that balance, but it helped me remove some of that pressure I was putting on myself to do all the things that I do.
To have those open conversations with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes when you are so, like, focused and so tunnel vision and you want to get the money, you know what kind of life you want to be living, you end up, like, losing yourself in that. So to have a partner that will bring you all the way back, that is your anchor, that will say, hey.
And we do that to each other a lot.
And that is a beautiful relationship because you need somebody to reel you back in and to sit you down and because they care about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they want you to be the best version of yourself. So they're going to say, hey, like, listen, this is a lot now that you're doing. So how can we figure it out where you're not doing all of this madness?
I love my man.
One thing about you, though, you're a hustler. You are a hustler.
Yeah.
You go 100%. Out and you get it. You go out and you work hard and you know the life that you want to live.
Yeah, I'm not from London. I was born in Bristol, lived in Spain for, like, 5 years and moved to London by myself at the age of 14 to be a performer because I wanted to be on the West End. I had a dream and I always got told, it's not going to happen. The percentage of people that are, like, even when I went to the Brit School, they said to all of us in musical theatre, like, only maybe 1 or 2 of you are going to make it there because it's so tough.
Yeah.
And that's that. And the belief I have in myself when I really know, it's no one can fucking tell me anything different, which is why I've done 2 West End shows, 3 West End shows and toured. And I've done it. Like, I've done what I've come here to do. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't always Bottega shoes and first class flights. At one point I was homeless. Sleeping on the 157 bus in Croydon, staying at a teacher's house on income support.
Yeah.
But I stayed working at McDonald's before and after school. I was an au pair. I was doing all of this to get to where I wanted to be at. So that level of hustle to get what I want was ingrained in me from, like, a teenager. Because if not...
What are you going to do?
What was I going to do? Be mediocre and...
And this is the thing, like, you actually have to want to do well in life. Because there are some people that are happy with just being mediocre.
And sometimes I wish I was. Because imagine how easy. Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes I do wish I was, because then I could relax.
Yeah.
And I'd be happy. But if I relax for too long, I'm like,
yeah, no,
nothing's happening.
Yeah.
What?
And the thing is, it's not going to fall on your lap.
No.
Like, when I'm telling you, last
Unless
week,
you're like white and, you know,
wow,
privileged.
that part.
Then it will fall on your lap. But me and you, we have to work for it, babes.
We do have to work for it.
And we do.
It's really, really hard. I can't lie. There's been a few weeks where I've been like, oh, I want to throw everything away and start all over again. Because, like, I'm somebody that will have, like, 100 ideas in my mind. And I will sit down, write it down, all of this. Like, some of them will come into fruition. I will do what I need to do for it.
Yeah.
And then other times I'm just like, yeah, but what if that's not good enough? Then I start getting into my head and I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
What else am I going to do?
Bitch, you are me. This is,
Like,
you are me.
Oh, my God. Yeah, what if this podcast doesn't do well? And then I remember the reason why I started this podcast. Like, I'm somebody, I love speaking. I love being representation for people, not only like queer women, but like mothers as well. And I will never stop talking about, you know, being a queer woman, being a mum, being all of these different things. And if I can be that person for somebody else to be like, oh, well, if she can do it, I can do it as well.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to continue this. And it's like the little messages that I will get on social media that is like, okay, this is why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much for coming. I have loved
welcome,
this
babes.
episode so much. I feel like it's just having a conversation with my friend, and I love that. I never like having a podcast episode where it just feels too structured and too like, not a bit of me. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Myles Hart. TikTok, I think, is Myles Hart Official. I'm trying to get back on TikTok.
Podcast?
Oh, my podcast is Get the Belt. That's on YouTube or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you want to listen to that. Or catch me in the West End. If you go to mileshart.com/Moulin Rouge, you will see all of the dates that I'm playing Santiago. You'll get your life, honey. Yeah, because my Santiago is black as fuck. And I live. See these braids? I make sure I get these braids in when I'm playing Santiago every time. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming on, babe.
Thank you, baby girl.
Guys, if you want to email anything over, it's Milena's Diary pod @gmail.com. Make sure you're using the hashtag Milena's Diary. You can DM me. I'll be reading all of my DMs. And that's it from me, guys. I've been your mamacita, Milena Sanchez.